Hey everyone, today's October 1st, 2018, and I hope all of you are having a great day. First off, I want to apologize for not posting videos consistently. I've been in Florida for about a month now, and I've had a lot going on. I want to share that with you, and I'll go over what's happening in today's video. So if you guys have been following my videos in my life, before I moved to Florida, when I was in Chicago, I actually lost my job there. I moved to Florida with no job, and I came here to look for a job, make sure I can afford my bills, the house, the cars, and live my life how I was doing before. After 3 weeks of living in Florida, I finally got a decent job, and I can finally resume my build of my BRZ and my project car that's coming up in the near future. When I make YouTube videos, I do them all for fun. I don't make any money off these videos, and it's something to relieve stress, and it's fun sharing my experiences with all of you. So today's video is going to be more of an informational video, a question I get from all of you often. Alright guys, so if you guys are not following my Instagram, I'll put it right here. It's Aaron Robin Pro. I put a lot of updates for the channel, what's going on, and you'll see stuff before other people see them that are going to be on the channel. So again, it's Aaron Robin Pro. Please follow my Instagram. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about E85. And when I was in Chicago, I used E85 pretty much the whole entire year. Almost every gas station around me, and no matter where I went in the Chicagoland area, had E85 pumps. Once I moved to Tampa, Florida, I noticed that there was no E85 pumps, or there is E85 pumps, but they're not at every single gas station. And it's too risky to do E85 if you can't fill up everywhere. So I ended up tuning my car back to 93 octane. So if you guys are new to the channel, or if you guys don't know, the Naturally Aspirated 2015 Subaru BRZ. Right now I have a stage 2 tuned unequal length headers. I was on E85, now I'm on 93. Before I came to Florida, I've been on E85 for maybe about a year and a half now. I've been on it for a very long time. And going back to 93 octane, I actually noticed a pretty big difference in power all around. A lot of people say that E85 is best when you are when you have a supercharger or a turbocharger, which is 100% true. When you have forced induction, E85 will boost your power by so much. When you're naturally aspirated, you don't get as much power, but you do get a good power jump from 93 octane. So the question I'm going to answer today is going on E85 when you're naturally aspirated worth it? So doing some research, I found one E85 pump that's not too far from where I live. It's the only E85 pump in a very, very long distance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that gas station, tune my car with my open flash tablet to E85, and I'll explain the differences that I feel going from 93 octane to E85. So like I said, there's so many people that say it's not worth it to go E85 when you're naturally aspirated. So I'm not going to go on a dyno, nothing like that. I'm going to tell you guys my experience from being on 93 octane for the last month, jumping over to E85, and I'll share my experience with all of you. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and let's get to it. It's another beautiful day in Florida today. I'm gonna head to the local E85 station. So we're gonna head out right now, start this video off with a cold start. And like I've been telling you guys, I have really big things coming for the BRZ. Since I have a new job now that can pay for my cars, the house, everything, I'll be all set to go on with more modifications for the BRZ, and I'm excited for everything to come. I have this vision that I want my car to be. Because right now, my BRZ, like I said, this is stage 2 of my build. And I love how this looks. The car's great. I love my worky motion wheels and everything all together. There's going to be major changes coming for this car. I'm really excited to get started on B3 for my BRZ build. Guys, on the GoPro right now, and first off I want to apologize for the audio on the GoPro. Right now I'm using the GoPro Hero 4 Silver, which is years old now. I bought this maybe 3 years ago. GoPro said they upgraded the stability on it, and they also made the audio so much better. So I think I want to pick up a GoPro 8 pretty soon, because the quality of this GoPro isn't really cutting it. Alright guys, so I have my open flash tablet with me. My car is almost on E right now. By the time I get there, my car will be all the way out of 93 octane. I'll be able to tune my car for E85, fill my tank all the way up, and I'll be all set. Then I'll explain to you guys how it feels from going from 93 octane to E85. Does it make a huge difference or not? And I'll tell you guys exactly what I feel. If I feel better throttle response, low end torque, high end, and so on. Because with forced induction cars with a supercharger and a turbocharger, definitely you get more power overall. But with the NA car, I'll tell you exactly how I feel, and maybe in a later video I'll actually go to a dyno and see how much actual power you get. Alright guys, just made it to the E85 station. It's actually a Thornton's, which isn't too far from my house. But other than this gas station, there isn't too much. They have like 4, maybe 6 tanks of E85, but it sucks because every person that's parked at these tanks don't even need E85, and I had to wait like 5 minutes to finally get to this pump. Alright, I tuned my car with the open flash tablet. Have to start the car. Let it idle for about 15 to 20 seconds. So my car can recognize the new E85 tune that I uploaded to the BRZ. Alright guys, the car should be all set now. There's nothing better than the smell of E85, full E85 now. As you can see, my gas tank is completely full, and I waited about 20 seconds. The car should be all set. I'm gonna start driving, give you guys my first impressions from going to 93 octane to E85. And like I said, I have a stage 2 unequal length header with E85, and that's it. So let's get going. Alright guys, so it's been about a month now since I've been on E85, and the one thing I really do miss that's very minor is the smell of E85. I associate that smell with fast cars because all my friends that have very high horsepower cars all use E85. Okay, so we'll get a quick acceleration right now. Ooh, the car already feels that much more torqueier. My first thing I noticed when I did that first acceleration just now was definitely the responsiveness of the throttle. And I think that's just the torque going up a tiny bit. Because with this car having around 200 horsepower stock from the crank, with my unequal length header, my E85 tune, with the modifications I have to my car, I'm making a decent amount of horsepower, not too high, nothing like a supercharger or a turbocharger. But with the E85, I noticed a huge difference right at the get-go. That acceleration was from 0 to 60, and I noticed a huge difference right away. I'm going to do another acceleration right now, and one thing I'm noticing is the low end torque. Because this car has such low torque from factory, my unequal length header, the torque dip that comes with this car is eliminated. But with the E85, it just gives that little boost that this car needs. And I'll do an acceleration right now and I'll tell you a little more of how this feels. Someone cuts me off, of course. Alright, so that was another acceleration from 0 to 60, and no doubt the torque went up so much, and there's a huge difference. With the 93 octane, it felt like it was being held back. So in my opinion right now, with my stage 2 tune, unequal length header with E85, using my open flash tablet for tuning, I believe this is how my car should have came from factory. Horsepower and torque wise, I'm not sure what the numbers are with my setup right now, but the car feels more nimble. The low end torque, no doubt, I feel that right away, especially from a standstill. When I accelerate, the torque dip is completely eliminated. The car just keeps going and going. And don't get me wrong, it's not extremely fast by all means, but compared to stock, or even just with my unequal length header with 93 octane, switching to E85, even though this is just a naturally aspirated car, makes a huge difference. Oh yeah. There's no doubt the car is accelerating so much more. The car feels so much more alive right now, and it makes me want to be on E85 all the time. But I just wish there was more E85 pumps in my area here. But at least I know there's one kind of near my house right now. So I'm debating on either getting a flex fuel sensor, which it's something I should have invested in a long time ago. Because with a flex fuel sensor, you can have E85 mixed with your 93 octane, and I'll have no issues. So if you have a equal or unequal length header for your BRZ FRS or 86, and you're either on 91 or 93 octane, I 100% recommend going to E85. Either getting a flex fuel sensor or an open flash tablet or EcuTech tune with the upgraded injectors to use the E85. And especially since I'm going forced induction very soon, having a flex fuel sensor by Delicious Tuning will make things a lot easier, and if I want to use E85 or not, I'll have the choice. So right now I'm not in a big rush to install my supercharger I have. I've had it before I moved to Florida, and the reason why I did not install it yet is because I did lose my job before I moved. I lost my job, and I didn't have the money to get the tune also with installation. I'm either going to install it with some friends out here or bring it to a shop to make sure everything gets done 100% correct. It's going to happen eventually. It's not my top priority right now. Right now my top priority is to make sure I'm doing well at my job, making sure I can afford all my stuff, making sure my job is stable. I actually got a very good job out here right now, so I can finally buy new car parts for the BRZ. I really want to start this project car. I'll reveal that to you guys and start modifying it as soon as possible. So there's a lot of things I want to do, which all costs money, and I'll have to do one thing at a time, but I promise you guys, I have so many awesome things coming for the channel, for the BRZ itself, and I can't wait to share it with all of you. So I just got back to my house and I have a full tank of E85 on my Subaru BRZ. So being on 93 octane for the last month, going over to E85 was a major change. Noticeably, the low end torque felt so much faster. And with that torque dip that comes with this car, without E85, with just unequal length headers, it eliminates it. But with the E85, the car gets that little bit of boost where the car feels so much faster, low end and high end. But for myself, I definitely noticed at the lower end, going at a standstill and accelerating. So going from around 0 to around 45-50 miles per hour, I felt like I got there so much quicker than I would with just 93 octane. And the car feels so much more nimble right now, and I want to stay on E85 all the time. It's unfortunate that there's not that many pumps out here, so I'm definitely going to buy those VP E85 jugs, buy like 5 of them and fill them up at all times, so if I need E85, I can just fill up my car in my garage and not have a problem. It sucks that there's not E85 out here, but I do have to make the best of it, and it really did make a huge difference on how my car felt. A lot of people say if you're naturally aspirated, E85 is a waste, but I definitely think the opposite. From experience, E85, even with a naturally aspirated car, feels awesome. You get so much more power, like it's mostly on the lower end, but it feels great overall. And if you have a BRZ FRS or 86 and you're naturally aspirated, do not hesitate to do E85. Get those upgraded injectors, get the right tune for yourself, and I promise you guys, you'll enjoy your car so much more. For me, the BRZ is all about the driving experience. I've owned this car for about 1.5 years right now, and I honestly love it. It's the most fun car I've ever owned, and with my unequal length header setup, my tune with E85, it feels like the car should have been like this from factory. It's nimble, it's a lot of fun, it takes corners really well, it's extremely balanced, and I couldn't be any more happier.
I ain't high yet, fuck what your type is. Baby girl, the only one who knows just why I'm like this, yeah. Not really different, so silly, why the distance between us, I never give in. Hold up, what's the difference, yeah? Got me tripping out some dumb shit. Running back and forth before I forget how to function. Where the love is, I don't really notice. Keep my focus forward, flowing over. Brush your shoulders off, lady, before they push you over. Never to think of you when I be on endeavors, never.